Greetings, philosophical, blunt, wandering Sagittarius. My name is Eliane Nicole. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, and now I'm going to do the June 2020 overview for Sagittarius. I'm going to do a tarot card reading, and then I'm going to talk about the astrological transits. So definitely stick around for the second half of the video to hear about that. And I recommend you watch the videos for your sun, moon, and rising sign. If you don't know your sun, moon, and rising sign, you should definitely contact me to have your birth chart done, because everyone should have a birth chart reading with a real life astrologer. I can read on Zoom or the phone, so it's not exactly real life in quarantine, but it's close enough, and it's a really great tool for self-awareness and self-discovery. So as we enter the month of June, Sagittarius, you are a phoenix rising from the ashes. You are being reborn. You are regenerating. You are having a new start. And you are covered by the Four of Cups reversed. So this is about you're launching a new hope or desire. And this is the Ace of Cups. And so this is around love. It's around birth. It's around marriage. It's around a new idea, new creative idea. Any of those things can be represented by the Ace of Cups. The basis, the Page of Rods reversed. So for some Sagittarius, if you have children, this has to do with one of your children, maybe having a delay and postponement in a journey, or else a project that they're working on, something like that. For Sagittarius who don't have children, then this is going to manifest more as a delay or postponement in your own travel plans, or maybe something that you're trying to start is having trouble getting off to its start or delays. What's leaving is the Devil reverse. So this is about coming out of a situation of bondage. What could come into being is information coming out of the shadows around the 13th through the 15th of the month. It could also be that something that was lost you find around that time, or something that was taken from you is returned around that time. It could also be somebody, this also comes up when somebody is stealing ideas from someone or stealing information from someone. What could come into being is the Two of Wands reversed. So this has to do with not seeing eye to eye with a partner. It can also be a partnership unraveling, or people parting ways in a work situation, or parting ways on a project. It could just be seeing a temporary falling out, or just not seeing things the same way. Fears or insecurities. This is around finances or business. It could be also around a gift. Others see you, the Queen of Swords. So for Sagittarius women, it looks like people see you as very direct and clear on your vision. For Sagittarius men, it means that there is a very kind of strong and powerful woman who is near you, thinking of you, wanting to talk to you, wanting to communicate with you, and in a positive way. And your positive feelings about June have to do with getting over disappointments and being grateful for that which is still full and abundant and great in life. You feel good about, not crying over spilt milk, so to say. And at the end of the month, Sagittarius, you have the Nine of Wands. So that looks like you are guarding your territory. And so that is the tarot overview for Sagittarius for the month of June. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about the planetary transits. June 2nd, the asteroid Pallas Athene is going retrograde into Capricorn. I'm just introducing the asteroids on this channel. I haven't previously talked about them, but I'm going to start bringing them up because I'm working with them with clients a lot in my private practice. I think people are getting a lot from them, especially in these times that we're in. It just gives just an even more detail in what's going on for us transformationally right now. And so June 2nd, Pallas entering Capricorn for retrograde in Sagittarius in general. That's going to be happening in your house of finances, possessions, and also it's your house of values and self-esteem. So you're going to be re-strategizing in those areas of your life over the course of the rest of the month as Pallas is retrograde in Capricorn. June 3rd, Vesta enters Cancer, and this is about our devotion, our faith, our spiritual devotion that keeps our inner light flickering. Is separate than, who we are to serve other people, but who we are to serve God, and our inner light. And for you, that's happening in the 8th house, which has to do with, it's a very deep house. It has to do with sex, death, rebirth, regeneration, transformation, elimination. So all very deep and powerful themes, and that shows that that's where your devotion lies in the month of June, Sagittarius. June 5th is the full moon and prenumbral lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. So this eclipse is happening in your sign. So this is a very important lunar eclipse for Sagittarius. It has to do with endings, culminations, letting go, releasing. The eclipse, the lunar eclipse often illuminates the shadow in ourselves or in others. This can be shocking when it happens, but this is all necessary for the endings and for what we need to let go of at this time. June 18th, Mercury goes retrograde, and Sagittarius, I might add that this is such a great and important time for Sagittarius to be reading with a one-on-one reader because of this lunar eclipse that is coming up in your sign, in your house of identity and personality and physical appearance and all of those things. So it's a significant time. Plus last month, the nodes did the shift where the South Node is in your first house of personality and identity and physical appearance. And so there's a lot of karma here for Sagittarius during this next year and a half, a lot of letting go, a lot of releasing in this area. And this prenumbral lunar eclipse is really kind of kicking off that year and a half season for you in a powerful way. So June 18th, after the second half of the month, Mercury will be going retrograde in Cancer. So this retrograde will be taking you through the rest of June, specifically for Sagittarius, or in general for Sagittarius. This is happening, again, this is about the 8th house. This is a really deep house that's being activated for Sagittarius in the month of June. And if you want to know specifically where it would be happening in your personal birth chart, contact me for a reading and we can look at that. But Mercury retrograde in Cancer, Cancer is very watery, Cancer is very emotional, Cancer is very sensitive, Cancer is very protective, Cancer can be very insecure. So all of these kinds of things around communication during the Mercury retrograde period in the second half of the month. And again, it's in the house, the 8th house of sex, death, rebirth, regeneration, transformation, elimination, a deep house for Sagittarius. And June 23rd, let's see, let me go back. June 20th, the sun enters Cancer. That will be traveling through the 8th house for Sagittarius over from June 20th through mid-July. So again, it's highlighting those 8th house issues that I keep talking about. June 21st is the new moon and lunar eclipse, new moon and solar eclipse, excuse me. The June 5th is the lunar, June 21st is the solar. Solar eclipses are turning points. They're shake-ups into a new start. Again, this is the 8th house and all these 8th house issues that are prominent for Sagittarius right now. And so it's great. New moons are a great time to set the intentions, to plant the seeds that we want to manifest And because it's Cancer, Cancerian themes are really supported under this new moon. That's around the mother, around the feminine principle, around our moods, around our home, around land, around security, around all of those kinds of Cancerian things, around mysticism. So it's a good time to set intentions in those areas for Sagittarius in general. And wherever the solar eclipse is happening in your chart is where it's particularly powerful for you to be setting intentions and planting seeds that you want to manifest. So it's a really, really great time to get a reading with both of those eclipses happening in June. June 23rd, Neptune is going retrograde in Pisces. Neptune retrograde. Neptune doesn't really usually affect us unless it hits one of our personal planets. It's considered a transpersonal planet because it's one of the outer planets that moves very slowly. However, any transpersonal planet can quickly become personal when it hits something in our chart. So if you're interested, Neptune is it's very spiritual, and it's very visionary, and it's very mystical, but it's also the shadow side is illusion and escapism and addiction and things like that. So in general, it's around the 4th house for Sagittarius, which is the house of home, the house of the past, the house of the ancestors, the house of the mother. So if you're interested in where specifically which house it's traveling through in your personal chart, contact me for a reading and we can look at that. June 25th, Venus goes direct in Gemini. So Venus, for the whole first 3 weeks of June, will be retrograde in Gemini, and this is all about relationships and communication. It can be around money and communication as well. The relationships can include anything from sibling relationships to neighbor relationships to relationships with our spouse or romantic partners. And there's communication. It's all talking and writing, and it's old friends as well can circle back in during Venus retrograde. Sometimes old lovers or romances circle back in during Venus in retrograde. For couples who are established, sometimes maybe you're reminiscing about the past. Venus retrograde brings up a lot of nostalgia for people. So it could be reminiscing about the past with your friends, reminiscing about the past with your siblings, reminiscing about the past with your lover or spouse. It can also be old communication issues coming up from the past on the more shadow side of Venus retrograde, which is maybe there's unresolved issues you had with siblings, with neighbors, with lovers, with your spouse, and now that communication is coming up with review, which is great because there's an opportunity to resolve it during this retrograde period and move forward when Venus goes direct together on that issue. Also, for creative people, it can be old projects coming up for review to be worked on. For writers, sometimes Venus retrograde creates a writer's block. For creative people, it can be creative blocks for new work, but it can be a lot of creative inspiration for old work, so it has, both sides to it. And then sometimes it manifests as financial issues or physical appearance kind of stuff, beauty kind of stuff, cosmetic kind of stuff in our environment or on our physical being. And so when it goes direct, any of those issues that came up should start to take a new direction at that time. They should start to, if it was an issue, it can resolve. Things will be on a new path in those areas. They will be course corrected when Venus goes direct. And if that doesn't happen right away, if you're not feeling that happen right away, don't worry, because the retrograde period lasts all the way until July 31st when Venus returns to the degree it was in when it went retrograde in the first place. So it may take some time for that retrograde energy to kind of, shift directions. And then June 27th, Mars enters Aries. Mars is at home in Aries. This is a time where collectively there will be a real charge to move forward on our goals. There will be passion, there will be energy. We will be feeling the pioneering spirit happening. There will be new starts, there will be new beginnings. There will be some firsts happening, out the gate stuff happening. There could be some exciting things that happen in sports during that time, potentially. You know, also this is a time, Mars rules the libido. Mars in Aries, we can be feeling passionate. We can be, you know, out for the conquest. We can be feeling horny. You know, all those kinds of things can happen. And Mars will be in Aries for a few months, but it begins at the end of June. So look out for that kick of passion and go-get-itness at the end of the month. And then June 30th, Jupiter forms a conjunction with Pluto. This is a very powerful aspect. This is the second time it's forming an exact aspect this year. The first time it was an exact was April 4th. Jupiter's expansion. Pluto can be death and destruction. The first time this aspect happened for us this year, April 4th, there was a big surge in the corona virus, and I think that we could be expecting a similar kind of surge happening at this time. So I'm telling people to please be mindful of that. Please keep yourself safe. Jupiter conjunct Pluto is not all bad. It doesn't only manifest in bad ways. This is a time where you know, an expansion of power and wealth can happen for people who are already in a position of power and wealth. And so we hope that that happens for people who will do very good with their expansion of power and wealth during this time, because others need that. And wherever it happens in your personal chart, for you, there could be a personal expansion of transformation in that area of your life. It could also indicate a powerful influence coming in to that area of your life and creating an opportunity for expansion. So sometimes this can be a powerful person or a powerful event. Definitely a lot of exciting stuff going on in the sky, Sagittarius. If you like this video, give me a like. If you didn't like it, give me a don't like. Please follow me on Instagram at astrology.tarot.Eliane Nicole. I'm posting daily stories now of all the quick moving transits that tell kind of the cosmic weather report for the day. Those are really fun for me to do, and they're informative, so I hope you enjoy them. Check me out there. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Please share this video with other Sagittariuses that you know. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful June, Sagittarius.